If you're not more pumped up and excited than ever before, we're gonna clean, prime, and paint the frame on the 56 Tri-5 Chevy so that we can install our front suspension. And I'm curious to see what you say in the comments about my methods here, because I'm trying something. This is gonna be our canvas today. We gotta push that Rambler over a little bit though so we can get this fender off. And it's already a half past freckle, so a guy's got exactly 4 hours to get all this done. I've said it before and I'll say it again. You gotta have a set of dollies if you're gonna do this stuff in your garage, especially alone. You get the strength of 4 men. Okay, so here's the plan. We soaked the front suspension parts in vinegar and sandblasted them to get them down to bare metal. And then we sprayed them with this flat black primer. If you haven't seen those videos, they are linked in the video description below this video that you're watching right now. Before the parts get reinstalled, we're going to do a final coat with this semi-gloss. I think that'll get us looking pretty much like the parts would have when they came from the factory brand new in 56. And I know that that's not going to be 100% accurate, but we're not going to Pebble Beach. I told you all that because I would like to do the same process on the frame, but we don't have an area outside where we can sandblast the frame. So we're going to do it in here in the garage on a budget. We're going to wire wheel it down the best we can and then just spray it with brake cleaner, and then we're going to hit it with this Rust-Oleum rust reformer. I've never used this product, so I don't know how it's going to work out. And then on top of that, we'll finish it with the same semi-gloss that we're using on the suspension parts. It's an experiment. I don't know what's going to happen, but I guess you'll just have to keep hanging out and watching Freeman's Garage videos to see how long it lasts. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And I should also just point out real quick, just in case this is your first time at Freeman's Garage and we're meeting for the first time today, the body of the car is staying just the way it is, just the way the previous owner drove it to high school in the 70s. So that's one more reason for just doing this budget at-home experiment. And who knows, this time next year, we might be ripping this car apart and doing body work and a legitimate paint job. We're like fluid here at Freeman's Garage. We go with the flow and we're just having fun and happy we were born in the United States of America. Well, I screwed up. I thought I had an assortment of wire wheels that can go on my angle grinders so we could use air power or be plugged into the wall, but I don't. So we're going to use this, and I was just at the hardware store earlier this morning to get the paint and primer. Dang it! Let's do a little test and see how this works. I think that's going to be good enough. What if I go backwards? Grabs a little bit more because when you use these wheels, all the strands of wire get pushed back, and then so if you go in the opposite direction, it grabs better. Oh, we're actually down at bare metal right there. That didn't take very long to do, so I think this is going to go fairly quick. I shouldn't have said that. But we're not even going to be able to get, way down in these nooks and crannies and stuff. We're just going to have to deal with it. But let's start by doing just the immediate area that we need done to be able to put our suspension parts on. That way, in case I run out of time, at least we've got that done. But we'll try to do as much as we can, and we're going to have to move some of this stuff. But, alright, let's do it! 56 Chevy! looking great so far. I haven't done anything back here or on the bottom, but we've got that knocked out. Of course, I underestimated how long things were going to take. I probably spent about an hour on that. The challenge is how far do you go? When do you stop? Where do you stop? It's kind of like gambling. You know you're probably not going to get down to bare metal everywhere, but as you're chugging along, you're thinking, oh, just one more try or one more shot, one more second or minute on this spot or that spot, and we could break through the bare metal. Things like this little bit of rust around the edge of this rivet here, it makes a guy want to just keep digging and digging and digging in here, but next thing you know, you're going to spend 10 minutes in this one little area and you might not even get it. And are you going to do that on the entire frame from front to back? Yeah, because we're using the cordless, there's a traffic jam over at Charger Street. But you know, life is all about choices. Yeah. Getting there. With charging batteries and everything, I got about 30 minutes left of my 4 hours. Which is why I started going this way and decided to just do this whole half. At that pace, there's no way that I was going to be able to do this side as well. I think I spent way too long in the beginning chasing that bare metal. You know, when you see something shiny, so started chasing that and then realized that, well, some areas are more difficult than others, and we're not gonna get the whole thing bare metal. You know what I mean? This is nice, but doing it in the fashion that we are, I think this is probably good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be out here at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and I'm going to finish the job on the driver's side. And then that way, after I break my fast, I'll have the full day to do the passenger side, and I just won't chase the bare metal so much. But like I said, it's an experiment. We'll see how long this job lasts. But let's get through it first, and then we can make our judgments on what we think is is the fate for our chassis paint job on a budget. We don't want this to look like a sketch that an artist abandoned halfway through, but I'm calling the rust removal on the driver's side done. Remember, this is partly going to be a long-term test on the rust reformer, and my back and one knee is killing me. This morning, I did remember that I had this grinder that I've had for at least 15 years. I had it tucked away somewhere. Dug that out, and I had this in the case with it, which I didn't remember that was in there. This is probably 15 years old too, but brand new, and this thing just tears it up. I was able to do this whole section up here down to bare metal in maybe a minute with that thing. So that kind of makes me want to try it through here, because I could probably get this stuff down to bare metal, that rust that's left. I mean, it's knocked down pretty good, but I was using this, which isn't taking it down to, you know, bare metal like that very easy. But the thing is, if you remember the video where we made these brand new brake lines, we bent this one in one piece. That line is one giant piece all the way to the back of the car. So to get that line out would be a huge pain and add a lot more time onto this, which, I mean, it would be worth it. We're not afraid of the work here at Freeman's Garage. It's just, if we do all that to take this section completely down to bare metal, well, what about all these areas where I can't even get into with that thing? Not to mention areas like down in here, inside here, and up inside here. No matter what, we're not getting every little square inch. It is kind of funny though, because I know from experience, especially with my high school projects, that if you just sprayed black spray paint on all of this, it would be black and it would look fine from, you know, a few feet back. And every once in a while, when some rust starts to come through or it fades or chips off, you can just get your can and touch it up. But we got to do a little bit better than that. Come on, it's Freeman's Garage. The standards they're up there. I'm going to take a bio break and then I'm going to blitzkrieg the passenger side and see if I can somehow, some way get it done in 1 hour so that we can prime this thing and then get it painted. And I'm actually going to move this stuff out of my way. Usually I just suffer and be uncomfortable for hours and just deal with it, but I'm actually going to take 2.467 seconds to move this stuff. Alright, let's get it done. Oh yeah, bio break first. No! I killed it. 15 to 20 years of service. So much for my blitzkrieg. I can hang you on the wall. I have another angle grinder, but I don't have a wire brush or wheel on hand that will fit it. So do we spend 45 minutes driving around and probably not find one anyways? Or do we stay here and just try to finish it with the DeWalt? Scuff it all up the best we can, and then get this thing sprayed. We're gonna stay here and work with what we got. We gotta get this done, and we'll probably try to fix this in a video over on the Freeman's Garage Extra channel. The warranty probably was up in 2002 or something. We gotta get this outside. It stinks. Ow! Golly! What did the previous owner do? Drive through a construction site? Yep, I didn't get it done in an hour. It was more like over 2. And the license fell off the wall. don't remember where it goes. It's all done. Now we got to blow the dust off and then spray / wipe it down clean so we can put our first coat of primer on. And we also need to blow out dirt and junk that's down in these hard to reach spots. Packed in here, there's a gravel road that belongs to some county in North Dakota. And I can see a piece of the shock that we cut off on this side of the car. I can't get it out. And we're going back to here. I'm sure you've noticed that that's where we've cleaned it to. This front stub section, if you will. And the reason why we're doing that is because sometimes when you take a big giant project and then you blow the entire thing into pieces, it becomes an even bigger project. So one area at a time. Suspension, and then when we do all of our steering, then we'll paint back here on the frame. And while we were doing all this cleaning today, I was wondering, why is there such a large washer over here? And it's because the steering box is cracked. Might even be a booger weld on there too. It's kind of hard to tell. But hey, you know, 2 attachment points out of 3. I mean, that's not bad. We're not trying to be fancy here at Freeman's Garage. We're a little more drive-through than sit-down. It's always stuff like this that you don't think about that ends up adding time onto your project. It's just part of the game. We're still in the first can of primer and we got 2 coats on. The first one was just a light one, just to go over everything. And then I did a second one for complete coverage. And now I'm going around with what's left, hoping I can get through just little touch-ups or anything I might have missed before this can runs out. Got it with 1 can. Now on to the final coat. not dropping dirt down onto the frame. We did it! I want to put semi-gloss on all this stuff now and get it all bolted onto the front of the car. That took at least 3 times longer than I planned on it taking. If you're not more pumped up and excited than ever before to see this 56 Chevy hit the street and chew up some pavement, then I don't know what to tell you. Are you a human? This car's got the clock in the dash and a pinstripe dash. And we have almost every single part that we need to complete this car. Soon I'll be showing you the motor that I bought for the car. And once the suspension and the brakes and everything are all back on, we're going wheel shopping. As always, thanks for watching and subscribing and sharing these videos with friends and family. You're awesome. Here's a good one you could watch now if you want, if you're still on the YouTube. And we'll see you next time.